Hi, good morning, and welcome to the demo session of the Azure Cloud and Azure DevOps also, two together as a one course we are getting. Right. Myself, Nagarjuna Vadlakonda. I have a 12 years of IT experience. From last 7 years, I am providing the trainings on the automation tools and cloud technologies. I mean, especially here I'm talking, I completed almost 52 batches on PowerShell training only. So it is one of the automation tool on Azure Cloud. And come to the Azure point, I believe is the 12th batch, Azure Cloud point. Okay, it is a demo session completely. What we have inside of it, you are going to understand in this session, right? So one thing you can understand here, this course I am going to start completely from zero. That is the first point. It is completely from the zero. Those who are coming from different domains to cloud, this is the first step you can take it. And if you see the course plan, first, I'm not directly going to explain to you Azure Cloud. First, I'm going to explain to you Linux commands, which is very, very important. From the basic, I will explain to you in 7 hours. 7 hours, I'm going to explaining to you Linux basics. Then after only, I will enter to the Azure Cloud terminology. And there is one more thing. I will provide to you PowerShell basics. Here, one thing you need to understand, PowerShell is a different course. If you know the PowerShell, you can easily understand the Azure PowerShell. Both are different. But if you know PowerShell, then only you can perform end-to-end automation by using the PowerShell. It is like a command line interface. Here I am going to cover to you 2 hours on PowerShell. Based on that, I am going to explain to you Azure PowerShell. This is optional to you, but my suggestion here, in reality, if you observe 100 profiles, 100 members are good at Azure in the portal level. Portal level means in the browser. Like, remember, this is a fact. Whether you are joining or not, the training, that is secondary. If you, there is a one job for Azure or Azure DevOps. Out of 100 members, 99 members they can able to do in this view only, or these user interface only. They can able to create it. They can able to create it. Perfectly they can. Everyone, even if I bring a non-IT people, if I give strong training, they can also understand this one. But this is something special. This is only with the commands only you can create it. There is a one option is there, you can see. There is a one option is there, Azure PowerShell here. This is the one. You can see, or you can search on internet also. I told you out of 100 members, 99 members can trained or work experience on the portal level only, 99. Only one person having the knowledge on Azure Cloud plus PowerShell. Which PowerShell? Azure PowerShell. Only one person out of 100. I am providing to you here Azure PowerShell. Azure PowerShell I am going to provide you. Here I am not going to give complete training on PowerShell. Already you are trained on this. This is great benefit to you. See, whatever I am telling to you, that is a straightforward statements. I will stick to that statements end of the training. Okay, if you attend, you will get in the GUI mode, no doubt. User interface, you will understand, no doubt. But my suggestion is there is no people in this area. So, okay, today I am joining. I don't have any knowledge on this one. Don't worry. I am shortly going to start another batch for the PowerShell. It is a different training. So, first, let me complete what are the other components. And Azure DevOps is there. This is the fourth component. So, if first of all, day one, I will start the Linux. Remember, day two, Azure Cloud I will start. It will take almost 2 months, two months time it will take. Then after I will come to Azure DevOps. Fourth one, I am going to start the PowerShell. Which PowerShell? Azure PowerShell I will start. So to reach this area, if I start today your training, to reach this area, definitely I need at least 70 days is required. Not today immediately. 70th day, I will start the Azure PowerShell. Before that, you should be, you have to learn here Azure Linux. You have to learn Azure in the portal in this way. In this way, you have to learn and Azure DevOps. In the area, you have to learn the DevOps also. Once if you all these are completed, then only I will start the Azure PowerShell. Sir, Azure PowerShell requirement is there. You should be good at PowerShell only. Already you are trained. You have a power of you know the power of PowerShell. Even if you don't know, next weekend, mostly next week I'm going to start a new batch for the PowerShell also. Next week I'm going to start the new batch for the PowerShell. There is no link to this training to this PowerShell. It is required hardly 45 hours, 45 days. But here after 70 days only I'm going to start the Azure PowerShell. There is a proper plan. Once I start the PowerShell, you can join here. It is completed in 45 days. Same knowledge you can use inside of this Azure PowerShell. If you know the PowerShell, you can work with Azure DevOps. You know the PowerShell, you can automate with AWS. If you know the PowerShell, we can work on VMware. If you know the PowerShell, SQL. If you know the PowerShell, like you can work with what is that? AD, Active Directory. So this is a core component, 45 hours. But again, I'm telling that it is a optional. If you take this is optional, you are the one of the member in the 99 members out of 100. But if you take this one as a serious, there is no trained people on PowerShell. Believe me, there is no people on the PowerShell. There is no people on the PowerShell. I have actually today demo is related to Azure only, but I am giving to you the genuine fact what is outside of the market. Again, just take a perfect clarity. Take a perfect clarity. Clarity is important here. Clarity is very, very important here. Let's to start this journey, nothing is mandatory. I'm going to start from everything zero. So first I will explain to you Linux, then Azure admin, complete admin, then Azure DevOps, last one Azure PowerShell. Okay, so this is inside of the course. Linux basics I will cover completely. Azure Cloud complete 104 end to end. Blindly you can give the certification. And Azure DevOps I am going to cover here completely AZ400. Complete PowerShell here I am going to cover. Definitely. But I will give to here only PowerShell basics only 2 hours. But my suggestion, take here when I start the next batch, mostly this month 15th or 22 we have a new batch for the PowerShell. It is very easy like a ABC format. If you know English, like hi, get, set, in that way, it is going to create. Observe here the power of the PowerShell. Example here, there is no resource group. You can closely observe. There is something is there, no resource group. How I'm creating by the command line, you can see. Resource group, Naga, East US. That's all. On the screen, you can see. That's all. But in the portal, you can see it is slowly updated. Even it is not updated, you can see in the white screen. Again, if I do the refresh, no. Yes, now updated. See the delay? Why organization refer to you in the GUI mode? See, GUI mode is very difficult. Difficult means lot of resources will be used. This is a CLI, easy to use. But no people will come in this area. Everyone habituated to easy work. But really PowerShell is not a difficult one, believe me. Just allocate some time when I start the new batch for the PowerShell. Leave it about the PowerShell and Azure PowerShell. That is your option. Fourth one, and this is a different training. And if you come to focus on mainly Azure Admin and Azure DevOps, that content I'm going to start. So here, guys, like you can see any my previous batch otherwise. Azure. Okay. See, first here I'm started with a Linux basics only here. Observe here, Linux basics. Then after networking basics. You're seeing these two are the network only two sessions, but magical things you will understand from these two sessions. What is the subnet mask, CIDR, classless interdomain routing? So complete information you will understand from these two sessions only. See, I'm playing that video. Internet. Now, one question. Yes. So the two things, networking, before coming to the course only. Now, once if you come to the Azure network, Azure admin, first part is the networking. Almost I will spend 40 hours on only this topic only. What is the virtual network and how to create the subnet, and what is the peering connection. This is important. How to communicate to networks. And Azure admin is completely different with your AWS cloud. You cannot sync this with yes, yes. Am I audible to you? I'm sorry for that. Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah, it is audible.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, now come to the course content. Mainly, first one is the networking we are going to focus. In the networking, so what is a virtual network and subnet? Then after, immediately peering connection to different networks, how to communicate it to different networks in the AWS cloud. That is a concept of peering connection between this. Mostly, while explaining the services, I will compare with AWS cloud. Same, only different name, but working style is different. Then after VM level and subnet level, there is something will come security groups. Network security groups will come. What is the stateful firewall and stateless? And in the security group, what is the inbound and outbound rules? And priority numbers, why we have a this much of priority numbers are available in Azure. And in the network security group, there is a one more also there subcategory. Application security group is there. This is important. Here tags will play the key role. This is an important one in the environment, which is important. Application security group is important, which is regularly using component. Then if I have a two networks in Azure, I can communicate it. But if I have a one network in Azure and another one is my data center on-prem, how to communicate these two? This is Azure and this is my old on-prem environment is there. I want to communicate these two with the help of the private IPs. There is a gateways concept will come. And what is a VPN site to site and point to site concept will come. And usually here also route table story will come. Route table and firewalls and what is availability zone, availability set concept will come. Then only I will enter to the second topic, VM. In AWS, same thing we will call as a EC2 instance. Okay, in the VM, definitely there is a snapshots, images, key pairs, and OS replace, swapping, VM SS, VM scale set. The same thing in AWS we can call as a auto scaling group. And a major topic inside of this is a load balancers. There are 5 types of load balancers are there. Azure load balancer, again public and private. Application gateway, traffic manager, and Azure front door. These are the 5 load balancers we have. Here 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different load balancers we can see inside of this. And the third service is storage related one, like storage account, blob storage, actually container. What is a container? Container, storage account, like a Google Drive. Container is there. Again, container divide as a blobs, page blob. append blob, blob, and file share by using the NFS Ajay Reddy. I will do one thing. Yes, file shares. Next, queues, tables. Regularly in the DevOps area only, these two will helpful to you. In normal administration point, not helpful to you. So storage account will come. That is a part number 3. Next one is the monitoring ultimate one. Monitoring log analytics workspace. Only one service monitoring. Now lot of names came and go, and now finally they are maintaining log analytics workspace, and all together inside we have monitoring section is there. Backup and recovery point is there. Automatic only. Automation account. Major topic is Entra ID. Then after we have what we have then after automation account came here. This is for AWS Lambda function, similar to AWS Lambda function. Migration is there, and finally ARM templates will come. ARM templates will come. AAD, Entra is a major topic here. And now come to this is a DevOps section, completely admin part. There is no DevOps as of now. It's a part 1 actually in our plan. Next, in the DevOps point, other than Azure DevOps, you are going to understand AKS, Azure Kubernetes. Completely, I'm going to explain to you, and Terraform. These 2 topics I'm going to teach you. AKS and Terraform. See, guys, if you take individually, it is really great. From my end only, it is almost 14 to 15,000 individually if you take. All together one side on in the one training only. Remember, first of all, Azure Cloud, Azure DevOps is there. This is regularly only one batch, 8:30 to 8:15 to 9:15 night. There is only one batch. There is no morning batch, only night batch only. Only one batch. And apart from this, see, I am going to explain to you Kubernetes and Terraform. And Azure DevOps is there. These 3 will come. Azure DevOps, I will take the sessions on Saturdays only, but last 1 month only I will take Saturdays. Only Saturdays I will take on Azure DevOps. It is hardly 16 hours content will come. So we can estimate hardly 6 Saturdays. 6 Saturdays. And Kubernetes and Terraform, regular sessions only it will happen. Generally 8:15 is there, 8:15 to 9:15. That is the timings you will understand. Finally, Azure PowerShell will come. That is the ultimate one. In the Azure PowerShell, leave it about it. And how to, generally, what we will call, in the Azure DevOps point, it's simple. It is an alternate for your Jenkins. Simple. Jenkins or Jira dashboard. And what is Azure boards, first of all? What is the Azure boards? Agile planning tools, how to track the work. Similar to Jira competitor. How to plan and how to monitor backlogs and Kanban boards, customization of the dashboards, track the progress. Everything will come under the these boards. 1 second. If I think I have already I log into that. 1 second. And the account is free. First 1 month it is free. You can use your credit card. You can create it. These left side options I am speaking. Boards are there. Next, repositories are there. It is like a Git repositories only. So you can, cloud hosted private Git repositories, same thing, like repositories, pull requests, branching policy, everything will come under the repository section only. Commit, all or same options will come. And pipeline, like your Jenkins pipeline concept only. Jenkins pipeline only. So how to link with like writing the pipelines, yes, continuation integration and CI/CD, continuation integration, continuation delivery. That concept will come. And the next one is that this is a one testing purpose. We have a multiple test plans are there. And artifact, final ultimate target, where our jar files are there. Even not only that too, like Maven, NPM, and Python packages. It is very easy to learn. But these service completely we are going to link with your Azure cloud only. There we are going to understand AKS and Kubernetes services. AKS, important one, guys. This is important service. This is an important service we are going to learn there. Okay, if you come to the course content, yes, first Linux basics and PowerShell and Active Directory terminology. Now we are calling Entra ID, but this is Active Directory, Windows Active Directory. It is Windows Active Directory. Then cloud terminology. This is for the certification point. You have a course content, but you can see. I said this is a 40 days we are going to spend. Virtual networks. Inside of it, gateways concepts. Number 6 also networking only, load balancers, storage, VM. And these are the, it won't take much time, 1 or 2 sessions only. This is important, a desert state configuration in the automation account. One of the powerful automation one we can maintain as a desired state. Runbook will play the key role. And disaster recovery, DR1. Migration, I will show you one VM migration from on-prem to Azure Cloud. Monitoring, ultimate one. So Terraform as well as Azure Cloud, these two will come individually to you. And this is about the Azure DevOps related information. Right? So what is the main theme you are going to learn from this one? Finally, one more time. First of all, Linux basics and networking basics I am only going to cover. This is not part of course, it is a prerequisite. I will explain. Next, Azure Cloud I will teach, and Azure DevOps also I will teach. Then after, this is Saturday's last, for example, this course is going to take 3 months. Last 1 month or 1.5 month, I am going to, every Saturday I am going to teach you. Regularly, if I take, it will take to you 150 days. Then after, Azure PowerShell. This is the last part, but PowerShell is a required one for this. Required one. I will start a new batch for the PowerShell also. Apart from this, you are going to learn Azure Kubernetes and Terraform. These two. Azure Kubernetes only it will take to you 45 hours, and Terraform will take to you 22 hours. Last time 22 hours it is taken. Sir, this is outside of this one. Remember, timings how this is going to happen. This is every day 8 p.m., 8:15 to 9:15 p.m. There is no change. There is no change inside of this. This part also same, and this part also same. But this is every Saturday. Every Saturday, I mean 2 hours planning. Last 1.5 month I will take. No doubt. And this is also 8 to 15, no doubt. It is in regular. But these two is going to happen not like your normal timing. This is purely is going to happen 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It is going to happen. But Azure Kubernetes Terraform, not immediately. We need almost 2 months time is required from now. So you need to allocate everything on the night hours only, 8:15 after only. 8:15 to 9:15 is a major time. So these two are additional, which are additional in this course, which is not part actual in the content. These two are additional, and it is additional. These two are additional. Everything is 8:15 only, but you can see Azure DevOps on every Saturday, and Kubernetes and Terraform. Normal Kubernetes I will explain, AWS Kubernetes and Azure Kubernetes. 3 things you are going to learn here. Right? So this is about my course content. Any queries and course related issues you can ask. I think today is a festival. Okay, sorry for that. Okay. Any questions here?
Altogether, how much? What is the